Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about that thing that plagues all of us, and that is UFOs. About 6 months ago I did a video on how to get your UFOs completed, and I was doing really good. I made my list, I worked on my projects, and I got a bunch done. But then I guess life happened and I fell off the wagon, because here I am with UFOs piling up more and more. Now for me the problem is that I have UFOs that aren't completed, yet I continue to create lots of new projects. And I'm sure all of you can relate to that. So I really feel like I'm in need of an intervention. So I have set up an intervention for myself and for all of you who want to join me. Now this intervention is a UFO quilt challenge, or a quilt UFO challenge, a UFO quilt challenge. But I don't want you to see it as a contest. I want you just to see it as an activity or an event where we can encourage each other and support each other in getting our projects completed. Now before we get started on the details of all of that, I need a little bit of help. When I went through all of my UFOs 6 months ago, I talked about a quilt that I wasn't for sure if I wanted to finish or not. And I've got that one on the wall behind me. And in a minute, I'm going to step aside and I'm going to show you the quilt. So here you go. Take a good look, because I'm going to need your help. Okay, so here's where I need your help. I want to kind of scrap this because these colors out here, just when you stand at a distance, they look all like one color. Now I love the centerpiece and I like these, but I don't know if just tearing these off and putting something new will make it better. So in the comments below, give me your thoughts. Should I scrap it? Should I keep it? If I keep it, what do you think I can do to improve this quilt? And then I'm going to take all of your suggestions into consideration as I figure out what to do with this quilt top. I do know that right now I do not want to pay to have this quilted. It's just too expensive, and at the current time I do not like it well enough to pay what it's going to cost to have it quilted. So again, give me some feedback in the comments below. Now the next thing I want to show you are my most recently finished quilt UFOs. So I'm going to put up a picture of my Minnie Mouse quilt. I just gave that as a gift, so it had the binding and a label on it, and I'll put a picture up of that. This is one that I finished. I machine quilted this, and I have one more of these to finish, but I thought that turned out really, really nice. And then I finished this one. Now, let's see, did I put a label on this one? No, I need to put a label on this. In fact, I actually may just sign it and put the date. And then this is going in the mail, hopefully this week. But those are some of my most recent UFOs that I have completed. So like I said, I have done quite a bit this year, but I kind of fell off the wagon these past few months. Now this is the quilt list that I created last time. And I updated it a little bit, and I put it on the computer so that I could update it more easily, because I didn't have enough room here to add different ones. So I put it on the computer. So for example, these are the quilts that need bindings, just bindings alone. And I divided these up into groups, just like I talked about before. Quilts that need a binding, quilts that need to be quilted, quilts that need to be pieced, and then my ragtime list. So I'm going to be able to add to these. Now I'm going to add to them. I'm not going to take away, because when I'm finished, I'll just put the completed date here, so that this will just kind of be a running record of the ones that I've done over the years. Now see, this one, you can tell I've completed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 4. I think I counted, I had completed 7 total projects last year, and several of those were large quilts. So this will be the list that I'm working off of. Okay, so this is how the challenge is going to work. The first Wednesday of every month, I'm going to post a video. And in that video, I will show you the projects that I've worked on, what I've got done on those, and what ones I hope to work on the following month. I've started a Facebook page, and on that Facebook page, there's a link called the UFO Challenge, and you'll simply go to that link and you can post pictures of what you're working on if you'd like. You can just post comments about others, or you can post comments about what you're working on. Or you can post them in the comments of this video. But the first Wednesday of every month, I'm going to be working on that. So if you want to participate towards the end of each month, be sure you post some pictures or comments, and I'll talk about those in my video. And the whole purpose of this event is simply, again, for us to be able to encourage each other and support us as we're in this process of UFOs. Now, I know that some quilters don't have any UFOs. In fact, when I first started quilting, I didn't have any UFOs, and I didn't have a fabric stash either, but of course that's changed. But anyway, most of us have UFOs, but some people don't. So if you're one of those awesome people who don't have UFOs because you get everything done, you start, comment below. I want to know you, and I'd like for you to post any tips on how you do that. Now, if you have any questions about the challenge, be sure to post those on the comments below, and I'm going to put the link for my Facebook page in the description below, or you can just look me up on Facebook as The Simple Quilter. Now, before we end for today, I want to show you some of the projects that I hope to finish by the end of this month, or so that I can post them and share them with you in July. Now here is one UFO I want to finish. These are mug rugs. I have a video on how to do those, and I'll include a link to that video if you're interested in making these, but I put together several. There's 4 or 5 here, and I want to get these finished and the binding put on. Now I already have the binding cut, but I kind of have a mess here. I don't know if I can make more, but I want to use as much of this fabric as I can. Quilt and bind these few into a finished mug rug. So that's one project I want to get finished. Now in another video I showed you how to make this checkerboard to play checkers on. I showed you how to make some large ones and some small ones in this large one. And I want to finish this, and this is why I want to finish this one. I had ordered from Amazon these large jumbo checkers. Aren't those just the coolest? I just love them. I'm so excited to get this done and into an actual game board. So on this I need to quilt it, I need to quilt it and bind it. But anyway, these are the jumbo checkers that I ordered from Amazon. If you're interested, I'll put a link for those below. But I'm really anxious to get this done. Now the next project I want to do or finish is my heart quilt. Now you all help me pick out the binding, and the binding is sewn on, and I'm working on whip stitching the binding down. But as you can see, I'm only to right there. I'm not that, I just barely have one side done. So I'm hoping to bind this and get a label on this quilt. But those are the ones that I really want to have finished before my video that will come out the first Wednesday of July. Now that may seem a little ambitious, but I have a quilt retreat coming up that I'm helping plan, and I'm really hoping that I can get these projects done on that quilt retreat. It's actually for 3 days, so I'm again hoping I can get quite a bit done on my UFOs, and who knows, maybe I'll have even more to show you that I've completed. Now, if you want to put in the comments what you want to have completed before that video, so that would be the first Wednesday in July, so you'd have to have those projects done again at the end of June so you can get them posted, so I can kind of think about all the comments and think about which ones I want to talk about for the July video, but post them down there. And in any subsequent videos that I have between now and then, if you want to just make a comment and let us know how you're doing, that's fine too. If you have tips on how to complete UFOs to help everyone, put those in the comments. You can put any of the things that I talked about in the comment. And remember, if you have any comments on this quilt and whether I should keep it or ditch it, or how I can change it to make it maybe a UFO I want to keep, put that in the comments below. Now, I hope you'll join me in this UFO challenge. I'm really excited about it because I think this is the intervention I needed to help hold me accountable and hopefully help all of you be accountable for getting our UFOs done. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Please share with a friend, and as always, leave a comment. I love to get the comments, and I try to reply to each and every one. So until next time, have fun quilting.